our roots connected to our grandmother, doing the things we've been doing our whole life, which there is a little bit of that grandmother wisdom, Saturn. So I just mentioned all the government, all of that. But in the old way, the circle of grandmothers informed the chiefs. The circle of grandmothers would have been informing the government. Before they made the rules, they asked the wisdom keepers, which was the circle of grandmothers, connecting with the earth, connecting with the medicine from the earth, connecting with the sky teachers, the star beings, doing the ceremonies that are getting information from the sky, listening to dreams, knowing all the children because they were the first mothers of all the children. The circle of grandmothers knows everybody in the tribe. So our government, I will say the S word, should be informed by that circle of wisdom keepers, but we don't have them. The ones we have are hidden somewhere. That's, the main reason I'm like, we need to bring this out. We need to get back our circle of grandmothers. And so this Saturn is also, when I say, being at home with your grandma and being, just doing what you've always done, having that wisdom keeper there with you. You could do that, but then you wouldn't be going north. And that's what we need to be doing, is going north. So first, I mentioned having Saturn on your south node is like, I didn't mention this. So it's like having that continuous, what we want to change now is in the circle of grandmothers, having a continuous connection to the grandmother wisdom. Since we haven't, because of all the things that we, that made it so that we didn't have those wisdom keepers, we have an external government that we just, at this point, we're all like, what the hell is this shit show? But we know that we have to build this from the inside. We need to recreate, and maybe even I've thought of like, well, maybe we could get some grandmother wisdom by like actually asking the grandmothers who aren't on Facebook and they're not on social media to get together. Maybe we can actually ask them, like, can we have a meeting once a month with the circle of grandmother? Can we create a circle of grandmothers and start learning from them how to do their handcrafting? How do they knit and crochet? And what are their what we used to call the old wives' tales. Like we need to hear those. We need to learn those. We need to like get that back. So that everything that I'm talking about here, getting it back, we need to remember it. This is all South Node stuff having to do with your inner authority, your grandmother wisdom. Now, we want to go north. We need to have the South being intact. We need to have that intact. So, I have a whole book about integrating South Node and North Node. I can send it to you if you want. It's full of exercises and things to do to honor your lineage, and honoring the lineage fully, we're able to go more into our North Node. So we want to go north. On your North Node, your destiny, your life purpose, what you're here to be learning about is Black Moon Lilith. Very close. They're just like so over here, they're only about 6 or 5 degrees apart, your South Node and Saturn. Your North Node is 6 degrees away from Lilith. Lilith is the first wife of Adam, who was created equal to Adam. They were both created not from a rib of they were both the same. They were equal. And in the story, the old Babylonian, Sumerian, ancient story, Lilith would not submit to Adam for no reason. She wouldn't. There was like complete stubborn, hell no, we are from the same. Why should I be under you? Why should I be behind you? Why should I listen and be your, subservient being? And so she ends up leaving, and there's this whole drama about so many things, but she leaves and refuses to come back until she's going to be treated as an equal. Adam won't. So then from his rib, God creates Eve, who is the perfect wife. Until, of course, the whole eating of the apple and the serpent in the garden and all of that, which is always just highly suspect, because I'm like, if God grabs a rib and creates this perfect wife, and then he must have also created that serpent in the garden. God must have also created that serpent who goes in and tempts Eve and gets her to, you know, I don't, it's very suspect, the whole story. But anyway, back to Lilith. I feel that in our psyche currently, the men feel like they need to bring Eve home to their parents. They feel like that's who they're supposed to be with, that perfect wife who looks a certain way and she's subservient, she's pleasant, but they really want Lilith. I feel like there's a part of them that really wants Lilith, but they're afraid, they feel intimidated, they feel, you know, and I think all of this cultural, stuffy concepts through our stories like this one create disharmony in our relationships. So you have Lilith on the North Node, which says that that is part of your destiny. Part of your life purpose is remembering your own Lilith story. I saw one other chart. I read Erykah Badu's astrology last month, and she had Lilith on the midheaven. So if you know Erykah Badu or followed her music at all, or her crazy style and the things that she says and does, which is completely Lilith, up there, out in your face on the midheaven, which is contribution to the world, that's up here at the top. Now this is definitely going to be, I would say, even more prominent than Erykah Badu's, because hers is out, it's showing, it's like we see that. For you, it's like this is what you need to integrate to go north. It's part of your going north, is remembering your animal nature, your wild, that part. Oh, so I love it so much. It's like fierce, tough. Doesn't mean you're not loving. It just means like getting back into that animal nature is part of how you are evolving. It's like you going north is basically like you ascending, you becoming enlightened. And what an amazing thing that part of that journey is for you to reclaim your animal nature and being fierce and being, you know, out in the dirt and refusing to submit to anybody, not just to a partner, but to anybody, because you know that you don't need to submit. You know that we are all made from the same things, so we're going to be the same. And I'm not ahead of you and you're not ahead of me. There's like no hierarchy in the relationships, but it is fierce. So if you don't know much about Lilith or you're uncomfortable with that, there's a really, really good book that I just finished reading. I think it was called Lilith. I can get you the title of that if you're interested in reading that. I got it on Kindle for like $5. Really, really good. Really good, because it also told the story of how it gave the whole Lilith story from different perspectives of different cultures, and how the Roman Catholic Church made it seem so, like it literally called her evil and made her into like a demon, the mother of all demons. And then I don't remember if I thought of it or if he may have said it, that I was like, oh man, men really want that. They're missing that. And they also aren't able to access it in their own self either, because I think that's why, you know, when they get drunk and they're able to like be that burpy, farty, like wild man, I feel like that's Lilith. But imagine if we could get into that without having to get drunk or like do something. What if we could just honor Lilith and be it, you know, like let that peace